I am 88 years old, and I am here today to tell you that I was completely wrong about how to live your life. I know this might sound a little shocking, especially from an old person like me, but hear me out. Growing up, my parents always told me that the key to success was getting good grades, going to a good college, and then landing a good job. That's what they did, and they were happy, or so I thought. But looking back, I realized that they were just following the same script that their parents and grandparents followed before them. In 1955, when I graduated from high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life, but my parents pushed me to go to college. And I have to admit, I was pretty good at it. I got a scholarship to a top-tier university, and then landed a job at a big corporation right out of college. I made good money, I had a nice house, and I thought I was set for life. But, looking back, I realized that I was just living someone else's dream. I wasn't living my own truth. I was working 50 hours a week, commuting to and from the city, and barely had time for my family or friends. And, to make matters worse, I was miserable. I felt empty, unfulfilled, and like I was just going through the motions. Nobody told me this back then, but I was living in a state of constant stress and anxiety. I was always worried about my job security, my financial situation, and my future. And it took a toll on my mental and physical health. I was exhausted all the time, I had high blood pressure, and I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. They lied to us, my generation, when they told us that success was just about getting a good job and making good money. They lied to us when they said that we would be happy and fulfilled if we just worked hard and played by the rules. But it's just not true. I remember one conversation I had with my father when I was in my mid-40s. I was feeling really burned out and unfulfilled, and I confided in him about how I was feeling. And instead of giving me some sage advice or trying to understand where I was coming from, he just told me to tough it out and be grateful for what I had. He didn't get it. He didn't understand that I was struggling to find meaning and purpose in my life. I was completely wrong, just like my parents and grandparents before me. I thought that the key to happiness was external success. I thought that if I just achieved enough, had enough, and accomplished enough, then I would be happy. But it's not true. It wasn't until I hit rock bottom in my early 60s that I started to see things differently. I had a major health crisis, and I was forced to reevaluate my priorities. I was hospitalized for several weeks, and during that time, I had a lot of time to reflect on my life. And it was during that time that I started to realize that I had been living someone else's dream. I started to think about what truly made me happy, what truly made me fulfilled. And it wasn't the fancy job, the big house, or the latest gadgets. It was the simple things in life. It was spending time with loved ones, helping others, and pursuing my passions. I started to volunteer, I started to take painting classes, and I started to connect with nature. And, slowly but surely, I started to feel more alive, more awake, and more present. I'm not saying it's been easy. I'm not saying that I've always felt this way. But what I am saying is that I've learned that true happiness and fulfillment come from within. They come from living a life that is true to who we are, not from conforming to someone else's expectations. I wish I had known this when I was younger. I wish I had the courage to break free from the script and to live my own truth. But I'm glad I'm here today to share my story with you, in the hopes that it might inspire you to do the same. Don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect. I still have my doubts and fears. But what I do know is that it's never too late to start again, to start over, and to start living a life that is true to who we are. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling unfulfilled, if you're feeling lost, I want you to know that you're not alone. I've been there, and I've come out the other side. So, please, I beg of you, don't make the same mistakes I did. Don't let the external expectations of others dictate your life. Don't let fear and doubt hold you back from pursuing your dreams. You have the power to create the life you want. You have the power to choose your own path. And I want to encourage you to take that power, to wield it, and to use it to create a life that is truly yours. I'm 88 years old now, and I'm still learning. I'm still growing. And I'm still sharing my story with you in the hopes that it might inspire you to live your own truth. If this reached your heart, please subscribe. I still have things left to say.